Whether you're just delving into the world of voiceover,
you're an established voice actor,
or you just want to listen to some unfiltered thoughts and opinions about the industry,
then this podcast is for you.
I'm Michael.
And I'm Jen. And this is the Off Air Podcast.
Hello!
Hello!
We are back. Season 2, episode numero uno is go. And I've missed it. I have missed it. I've said before, the next 8 weeks of my life is absolutely going to get taken over. I'm all for it. Bring it on. It's just,
it's very exciting.
It's been good. Well, and we've said before, and I don't want to sound like a broken record, but, the amount of support, love, everything from the first season was just fantastic.
Our listeners are the best, I have to
overwhelming.
say. Anyone who listens to this is literally the best.
Yeah, I just, so we didn't really, there was no game plan. There was no, okay, what we'll do, we'll set up a podcast, we'll try and get it
I
this
bet
many
loads of
downloads.
people are going to be completely shocked by that. You mean there wasn't a plan?
It's what you had. No idea what you were doing. Never. So we had no game plan. We just thought it'd just be fun just to have some conversations. And it just kind of took on a bit of a life of its own, didn't it? So here we are doing season 2. So I guess really just to start off, what we're going to do this time round is we're going to stay on video, because I think nobody asked for it as such. It's just from doing a bit of research. Video.
Nobody wants it.
Nobody wants it. Let's provide something people didn't ask for. There we go. So this time around, we're going to keep everything all on video.
It definitely adds a pressure though. I put makeup on. I'm not going to lie. I put makeup on, especially because we're going to be on video.
Yeah, well, it's also as well because when you just do audio, we didn't really do much editing on the last one. We just did the segues for chapters, but largely what you heard was more or less the whole thing. I just took out chunks of waffle because we'd go on for over an hour. We had to keep it inside 25 minutes.
Oh, I think one of them was at 1:45, wasn't it, when we had a guest on?
Yeah, I think it was with Kelly.
A lot.
So this time round, we have to be strict. We have to keep it inside 25-30 minutes, and that is just one straight run through.
Yeah, so hopefully people will stay with us.
I don't know what to expect.
It'd be an effing miracle if Michael keeps on track for that. We'll see. So, and also, the bad thing about video, if anybody is just listening to the audio, they're probably not going to get what I'm doing. But often when Michael is waffling, I'll do a come on, let's wrap it up sign. And I can't do that now. Yeah. Or maybe I can.
Well, of course you can, You're just going to get a bit of an insight. It's she tells him to wrap it up a lot.
He said he was going to end it, and he's still going.
Absolutely. So, but I suppose really, you and I, we've had a bit of a hiatus from each other really since we stopped recording.
Yeah.
So go on to what's...
Because we had enough for each other, is that what you're saying?
Yeah, pretty much. So go on, what's new with you? What's been going on over summer?
Oh, well, we are recording this at the end of August, and
22nd
I am in the midst of the school holidays, so my kids are off, and I'm not going to lie, I'm struggling a little bit. It's not easy juggling everything and the kids, and it's you're either working and feeling like you're a shit parent, or you're parenting and you feel like you're doing shit work-wise, and you go on social media and you see people... it feels like people are doing really well. Some people are really busy and you're like, God, I'm doing fuck all. And I'm just making snacks, constant snacks. So you feel a bit shit about yourself. So I'm not loving life at the moment as a voiceover artist. But there are a lot of highs as well. So don't get me wrong, it's not all misery, but it's tricky. So I'm hoping by the time this airs, things might have got a bit easier.
Listen, you're preaching to the converted because it's been... gracefully, touch wood, we're at the 22nd of August now, this week and last week have seen a healthy upturn. But most of June and July was largely tumbleweed.
I've heard that so often from people. And people who are consistently marking, who are established excellent VOs, are still going through a quiet spell or have been.
And I think, year in, year out, when you're going through the moment, you live it, and, it can feel like a bit like panic stations.
Yeah.
But then when you come out of it, you forget. And then it comes around again exactly the same time next year. It's it comes around again exactly the same time the year after. And it's it's brand new information. Yeah. It's every year the same thing happens round about the same sort of time. So you just kind of got to navigate the murky waters. So, but I know exactly what you mean. It's been, and even on social media, to be fair, because usually, I will say to everyone actually, right. So there is a feature that there's a couple of things we want to add to the podcast just to we're not going to change anything. We're just going to
We're mixing it up a bit, though, aren't we?
We're going to just add a few little features in just to make it a little bit more fun and a little bit more, dare I say, not interactive as such, but just involve people a little bit more in our own certain way. And one of the ideas I want to do, and I'm committed to doing it, is having what we call an ad of the week. And it's just literally, as we scroll through our feeds, each week we'll alternate and we'll just pick an ad that we've seen in our feed. We don't look for it. We don't ask for recommendations.
And it's not necessarily just an ad, is it? So it's just like voiceover. Just
a good voiceover. Yeah, just a good piece of voiceover. And just go, you know what? I saw this from such and such. I just thought it was fantastic.
Yeah.
And I really want to do it today.
Yeah.
I genuinely, honestly, God's honest truth, and I'm not religious, so I don't know why I say that, but I was scrolling on Instagram for about 25 minutes earlier on. Didn't see not one voiceover.
No.
It was adverts from video production companies. It was general sort of, some like celebs you follow and stuff like that. But actual voiceovers of other VOs, it was just nothing.
Same. And it was tumbleweed. And I think, I saw loads of people posting about what they're doing, which is really nice as well. But I am looking forward till we can properly do the segment. And this is a call out, basically. If you've got work you're proud of, share it, please.
Yeah.
Share it so people can see you.
Yeah,
so we can share it.
We're nobody special. It's just a feature that we thought would be nice just to throw some light on work and just go, you know what, I came across this, I thought it was fantastic.
Yeah,
definitely. Just for a bit of fun.
And because you do that, like when I'm scrolling and I see somebody and I'm watching, I'm like, oh, that's amazing. And it might even be someone I don't know very well, that we just kind of connected on Instagram or whatever. And it's amazing. I love doing that. So it would be lovely to give people props for their work.
Yeah, my sort of overthinking brain was like, yeah, but what if people watch it and go, oh, well, I didn't know, and I thought mine was better than that. You can and never will please everyone, and I don't aim to. But B, like, it's purely just based on who I follow and who's in my feed and who my algorithm puts in front of me. So if I don't see something, then I can't comment on it. So again, I was a bit debating on that because I didn't want anyone, because there will be some amazing work out there that would probably get missed.
It's one you don't want
people, right? And you don't want people to think, oh,
I'm sure everyone understands that.
I know. I'm a textbook overthinker.
Yeah.
So I hear you, but and as well with the kids thing, I mean, I think when we talked about that on the last podcast,
last season,
quite a few people reach out to you about that.
Yeah,
and
I did, and I
to
definitely know I'm not alone. And I think I'm lucky for so many reasons, but also my kids are a little bit older. I mean, they're still kind of primary age, but when you've got toddlers and babies and stuff, I don't know how people do this job. And we know a lot of people personally who are doing just that around babies and everything. So massive kudos to those people who are surviving. And even though I was going to say thriving, but I think a lot of people don't feel like they're thriving. I certainly don't at the moment. So it will get better. It will get easier.
You can't beat yourself up about it.
I know, but you do. I know that. I know rationally that I'm comparing myself to different people in different situations, and also I'm comparing myself to me in different times. But this is what we're dealing with now. So it's head down and just trying to carry on.
Yeah, I guess so. Yeah. Well, so for myself, anyways, you can probably tell.
Yes.
New surroundings.
Exciting new digs.
New digs, which is anyway. So new surroundings, new location. I'm in France.
Bonjour.
Which is quite exciting, yeah. Bonjour. Au revoir, mate. As I keep saying to everyone.
I love that you're bringing Manchester to France.
So, listen, your home is always home. So I don't live here permanently, so for those of you, a lot of you probably won't know, so my partner, Steph, she's a voiceover as well, so she lives here in France, and everything just sort of aligned quite well, because my agreement with where I was living in Manchester had come to an end. And, it was one of those, I was like, well, going back and trying to find somewhere else to move to, I was like, well, why don't you just take a time out and come stay out here for a while and we'll figure out the next steps. And that's exactly what I've done, obviously with her being a VO as well.
Yeah.
It's just worked nicely. So
really nice.
Yeah, it's just worked out perfectly.
And the podcast is now international, which is very exciting.
Yeah. So that's that. So yeah, I mean, other than that, there's not a tremendous great deals happen between when we finished, like work-wise. It's just navigating the waters like everybody else. There's a few things that have been going on.
I feel like there's quite a lot going on in the industry, though, isn't it? In terms of like, the video games, strike going on. There's loads of stuff. There's been loads of stuff. I had made notes and I don't know where the notes are. So there we go. We're just winging this.
I'll tell you what I came across. What day is it? Thursday. Was it Monday this week? I did not know this was there. You can do your own AI voice on Voice 123.
How does that work?
So they've partnered up with that 11 Labs.
Oh yeah.
And literally, so if you go on Voice 123 and hit the search button at the top, it's got a purple bar and it says it's a beta version, and you can listen. So what you do is you can put in a small sample of scripts, like 150 words, and then of the people that have already given their voices to Voice 123. These are all top VOs as well.
And are they...
It will give you that AI version of what you've typed in.
Right, so the voiceover artists, are they getting paid to do that? Or is it just when they get work from it?
So I think you can book them via the platform straight away. What the fee system is, I don't know. You can set your own fees. And then you can just take direct bookings. But I did not know.
No, I didn't. And I wonder, like,
anything on that.
No, and I wonder whether, I mean, I imagine it will have got out there. We're probably late to the party. But I wonder whether they then will use those AI voices to do any more training, or whether, presumably, they've signed contracts to say they can't, and it's just solely for the purpose of when they get hired, the AI gets hired.
Yeah, from what it looks like is Voice 123 have partnered up with 11 Labs and said, look, we can be your AI facilitator. V123 have then gone to the platform and says, if you want to AI your voice, you can do it via us. This is the agreement, and it's all sort of, taken care of. It's like a seamless process. And the thing is, what I found interesting about it, and I don't want to bang on about AI because I feel like it comes up all the time. When I saw it, I wasn't put off by it, and I still stand by this. And Hugh said it himself. A lot of people missed the talk at One Voice. The woman herself from Google says people are massively overthinking AI and they're worrying when they don't need to. I personally missed it, but I did hear what he was talking about, and it was really reassuring. But when I listened to those voices, I was like, you know what? Obviously, you can tell they're good. There's no two ways about that. It is good, but it is still AI. And what I found interesting was I had a bit of an epiphany with it, where I was like, actually, we all know it's here to stay. We all know it's going to serve its purpose. But actually, as I was listening to it, I was like, that is good for that. But as clients will need, they can't go, yeah, it's great, but can you just change the inflection on that word? Well, you can't do that. So if you know what you're looking for, as in we just need a quick prompt, AI at that price will probably serve that purpose. But for the vast majority of the work that we get, like I did my first Christmas ad yesterday.
Mikey, I'm going to stop you there for 1 second. My daughter just come to the booth. So you carry on talking about AI. I'll be with you in 1 second.
Okay, guess it's just us then. So, what was I going to say? So the Christmas ad, as they do, they want it warm, heartfelt, etc. And they were like, can you just change some of the nuances? And as I was listening to those AI voices, I kind of felt quite reassured, because I was like, you can't do that. You can do what you've been asked in a prompt relatively well, but that's it. It's black and white. There's nothing else from there. And from that, I felt quite good, because I was like, that's why I think people should worry less and less, because being able to manipulate your voice and change things to go in different directions, that is always our superpower. AI can't do that on the fly. I'm sure they can program it in years to come to do things, but in general, from a directed point of view, I just took a lot from listening to those, and I was like, it was. They definitely have their place. There's no two ways about it. And obviously now with them being on such a big platform, they're going to get used more and more. But actually, given the amount of work that we do, and how it comes about in terms of what we're asked to do, it's like, you worry for nothing.
It'd be really interesting. I'm back, by the way. It'd be really interesting if anybody who is listening has done that or who knows more about it. Please get in touch. We'd love that.
Absolutely. Yeah. Well, you can see who the people are on the platform, like their profiles are there, etc. But just that one completely went under the radar for me. I didn't know anything about that, so I found that quite interesting. Out more. So yes, but that's it. Yeah. So in terms of catch up, that's pretty much it. Changed. Got some pictures done. Did you?
I did. I love your branding pictures.
That was so basically how that came about was Steph was having some pictures done of the studio and everything, and she wanted some website.
Her studio's beautiful. I love it. I love the colours. Yeah.
And she says, "Well, why don't you just get some done while you're here?" And I was like, "I haven't had a professional photo done for 5 years." So I basically was more inclined to want to do like some actor type shots.
For your spotlight.
Mood shots for spotlight, because I love playing these more like gritty, dramatic characters, but I have no pictures that resemble that. So I said to the ladies, like, look, can you just take some pictures where I just look a little bit, just try and capture that sort of essence. And I was just sat there like, for those who aren't watching, just sat there pulling like these little grumpy faces or something. But I had an amazing time. It was fantastic. It was just fun just getting into that sort of zone. So I stuck those out into the world, and then I've put them on my spotlight.
I've seen them on your website as well. They look great, really good. I do think branding, like proper branding photos, look so good on people's websites and socials. I really do. I think it's worth the investment.
Well, you made a good point there, because this is the thing. So talking a bit before then about like with it being navigating the quiet period, it's been sort of very quiet. I think the problem I've had is, and I don't know how many other people can relate to this, I spent so much time over the years trying to be a better voiceover.
Yeah.
That I forgot about trying to be running a better voiceover business.
Mm-hmm.
Do you know what I mean? So
I do.
I didn't spend enough time on branding and marketing and essentially put myself out there that people can discover me. You know what I mean?
Which is essential.
Of course it is, yeah. Because I, when I first started out, Voice 123, I don't know, I heard this thing a while ago. Some people say, well, if you go on the P2Ps, they can make up about 5% of your income. For me personally, the opposite was true.
Yeah.
My first year on Voice 123, I made a lot of money, and it was the absolute spine of me getting my clients and building a business. But because I was doing well off it, that's all I focused on. I didn't focus on other aspects of running a voiceover business that would give me longevity. So obviously when these quiet periods happen and the auditions dry up, I mean, I was looking through the spreadsheets yesterday. My God, like from the last 2 years, the amount of auditions over the course of a month, they've just been going down and down and down. So it just hit home. Was like, it's those moments when you have a quiet period. It's like, work on those things that can help you further down the line.
And you've done a fair bit on your SEO and stuff as well, haven't you?
Yeah, just been sort of trying to just get
tinkering.
Just get discoverable. But so the photos help. The website's getting a bit of a lick of paint. So just while it's been quiet, I've just been trying to, work in the background, working on marketing lists, people to contact. I tell you what, as well, we talk about AI. Use it correctly. AI can really be your friend to get stuff done. Like I've had a bit of clever ways it's created, like call to actions, emails, etc. Populating lists and stuff that can do it in record time. So yeah, think smarter, not harder. That's what I've done with it, and it's it's just sort of just navigating our way through it. But I think it's going to start getting back to normal as we get into September.
I definitely think you're right. The last week for me, like I've started getting a lot more people contacting me and shortlisting for more stuff, and just feels a bit more normal and a bit more exciting again. So fingers crossed that continues. And the other exciting thing this week, Mikey, Vox.
Oh, the Vox is back for the 30th anniversary.
Yeah.
I'm looking forward to it. I was talking about this to Steph yesterday. Masquerade, though. I mean, that's an outfit, that, isn't it?
I know, I'm excited.
I feel like just coming in a Batman mask or something. Like
that is so you, though. You'd be like, I'm just going to wear my my black T-shirt and a mask.
Well, do you know what I was looking at yesterday for outfits? So I'm not buying a full suit for it. I actually saw on Amazon you can buy a Phantom of the Opera outfit. Yeah. Because he has a mask, doesn't he? And he looks a bit masqueradey. Yeah. So I think I'm going to go down that avenue.
I can absolutely see you wearing that.
Yeah, I'm probably going to do that. I am looking for... But one thing I've been trying... I've checked.
So you're definitely going now?
I'm 100% going.
Excellent.
Yeah, 100% going.
You got your tickets yet?
No.
Okay. So you're not 100%.
That would mean be organised.
Yeah.
So, no, I am definitely going to go. 100% going.
Same. So, very kindly, Kim Parker got my ticket booked for me. So, we're, I think we're like probably the first ones. And Hugh, if you're listening, I feel like some kind of prize is necessary for being the first ones to book on. No, I'm very excited.
Yeah, I can't wait. I'm looking for... But the thing is, I've looked everywhere and I can't see anything to the contrary. There is no talks.
No, I know.
Workshop.
Yeah.
It literally is just a piss up.
It's just
in fancy
ass
dress.
meal and the awards. Yeah.
Right. So it's just fancy dress piss up with a.
I am a little bit disappointed by that. I do like the workshops and talks and stuff like it did. For me, that would made it more worthwhile, I guess. I mean, I love dressing up and I love seeing everyone, so for me it's worth it anyway, but I think that would have made it better. But I'm really pleased they've now got a producers category back in the awards.
Oh, have they?
Yeah, they've just added one. I think somebody commented on the Facebook group and I think Hugh and Peter have addressed that. So that's really positive because it's really important that they get celebrated as well. So hopefully that will help with producers wanting to come maybe, which would be, again, really beneficial for all of us.
Well, if I remember correctly, the reason why they changed it last year, didn't they? To everything was like human related.
Yeah, which is still the thing now, isn't it, for the awards?
Yeah, but that was a sort of a consequence of they felt rightly so that the radio industry sort of turned their back a little bit on VOs because of was it rates or something? Equity rates,
I think there was some issues with global and the equity rates and stuff. But I think there was some argy-bargy, wasn't there?
Yeah, I mean, I still, like, Bauer sent me through the list of they haven't adhered to the equity rates, but they have increased everything by like 10% or something. Yeah,
it's really tricky. And I feel very grateful for equity, though, that are still trying to keep improving things and pushing things forward. But when you know people personally, like at Bauer and Globe and stuff, the people are so nice that it's very difficult. But I suppose like every voiceover feels like that. It's you're in a rock and a hard place, aren't you?
Yeah, definitely. But I think, I'm looking forward to going. Are you going to, I mean, it's free of charge, the awards. You may as well.
Oh, hell yeah. I mean, I've no idea what yet, but I will definitely be entering something.
Do you know what really frustrates me, though? Right.
Tell me, Mikey, what frustrates you?
How many times have you done a piece of work that you just like, you felt in your bones was a good piece, and you've never seen it? You've never seen it. You can't get a copy of it. And you think, God, if I could just get that as part of my portfolio, that would just be a nice little, piece of work for that specific category. Not talking about awards as such, but obviously it's relevant. But just in general,
there's one piece in particular this year that I was like, I got hired to do something that I wouldn't normally do. It was really cool ad. It was going to be slick as fuck. And I can't get hold of it. And it was for a particular event, and I will never see that ever.
Wounded.
Gutted.
Devastating.
Absolutely gutted. And it was a really cool brand as well, and I will never see it.
Yeah. I did one. I've got a couple. I did one for Lego, and it was more of an internal one, but it wasn't like anything of like sensitive information. There was 3 small,
so cool,
1 minute explainer
cool
videos,
client.
And I saw the storyboard for it. It's got little Lego characters, but it's like a corporate one, but at Lego. And I was like, please, can you send it me?
That's so cool.
Yeah, and they would we can't. It's like it's not for public consumption. I was like, I just had to sort of,
at least you got the storyboard there. I think I'd just treasure that a little bit because that's so cool.
Yeah. So I think I've got, because I was looking, because they changed it's different to One Voice. They go to year prior, don't they? But with Vox, they allow up to this year.
Yeah.
So if I'm not mistaken, it's up to, excuse me, August 31st. Yeah. So from
is that air
September.
date? Do you think it is?
I don't know, because I just did my first Christmas ad, and I'm really, really proud of it.
Yeah.
But it won't come out till November. Yeah. So I don't know if is it when you recorded it or when it comes out. So
they'll probably have that in the rules, won't they? I need to have a look.
Yeah, I need to double check it. But yeah, as per usual, you got to have a go. And we've talked about this before. I know some people who, rightly or wrongly, there's no right or wrong answer, stay away from the awards because they feel that if they have a piece of work they're really proud of and they don't get nominated, it's like it can be disheartening. I fully understand that. I really do. But equally, I don't know. It kind of just seeing if you're still within the race to get a nomination is just kind of
it's just fun, isn't it? And I know, and I do. Fun. I hear what you're saying, and I think they're very wise if they know themselves and think that's not helpful. That's not healthy for me. Then absolutely do that. But it kind of feels a bit like having a lucky dip. When you're like a kid and you pay your £1 and you get that bag and you don't know what's going to be inside it. It's that kind of vibe. Maybe it's gambling. I don't know.
You just need to get your fix.
I need to get
into something. Anything.
So it kind of just kind of throwing some stuff at the wall. And I think previously, because I've not gone many rounds, I've applied with stuff. I think the Vox last year I got a nomination for an e-learning piece, and I was so surprised and so grateful to get that because I liked it, but it was a bit random, and you just never know, do you? And because they changed the categories, I wasn't sure. So basically, what I'm saying is, you may as well go for it.
Because there was a few things I went in for last year at One Voice. I came out with 1 of 6. I think I went for, and I was lucky I got that 1. I was grateful, but the other 5, I don't bat an eyelid.
Yeah, because I applied for loads last year for One Voice and didn't get any in. But then for Vox and the year before was One Voice, I put in one apiece or something, got it in. So you just never know. You just never know. And I think it's worth pointing out as well, I'm acutely aware that in the grand scheme of things, award nominations... Oh my God, we're talking about a masquerade ball in what... The world is on fire. Nothing. The world is an absolute shit show of misery and horror at the moment. There's no getting around that. No, it looks fantastic whether you've won or you're a nominee. It looks nice to have that next name, but in the bigger picture, they don't really mean anything. They don't book you more work. You're only as good as the audition that you've been given and how you deliver on it every single time. So it's just a bit of fun, isn't it? That's why I like them. And I feel like I just like dressing up and pretending. I don't know. Maybe it's like an acting thing, like pretending I'm someone else for an evening, or like I don't know, the costumes and yes, the masquerade ball is going to be a good laugh, hopefully. Yeah. And we're plotting some stuff, aren't we? Potentially, maybe for it. Have to see. Yes. Well, I need to speak to. I'm going to have a little. No spoilers, Mikey. No spoilers. No. There's not. Well, there isn't right now. Just say spoilers. Just making this shit up as we go. No, I'm going to message Hugh because I've got a little idea for something that I just want to make sure that he'd be okay with. Not that it's not have any impact on
vox itself at all. It's just something I want to do that he would be all right with doing.
Maybe just like, while you're chatting to him, maybe just see like, can we get an industry professional like to talk, or somebody really like amazing to, I don't know. I would like a talk.
And also, I'm trying to, for everyone's listening, I'm trying to convince Jen to do our first Instagram live. I have never done an Instagram live, never in my life.
No.
I'm trying to convince. She's like, yeah, I'll let you know what think about it.
When the kids are back at school, because like I've already been interrupted once during this session. Can you imagine what Instagram live? It's very stressful.
Yeah, but that's fine, because that's the whole point.
I know.
Of it.
I don't want the kids on stuff
live,
like that.
It's authentic. So. There's no controlled environment where it's like, I'm sure, like it's live. It could be anything.
So we'll see.
Yeah. But going back to what you said before about, we were talking briefly about because I forgot, didn't really speak to you about it, the navigating the quiet period. Like, so what's your take on it? What do you tend to do if it sort of goes a little bit,
get really depressed?
Doors are shut. All the positive things.
I think I'm absolutely pile of shit. No, because maybe I'm not, but I still see myself as being quite new still, that I still feel like I'm learning about when quiet periods come, and because I'm just trying to do what I can when I can. I don't know if... So when I said to someone a couple of months ago, a friend who's a VO, that I didn't really feel like I was going through a quiet spell, but didn't really feel like I could say that because I hadn't been like consistently marketing myself up to that point. So it kind of felt like it was my fault. Like I couldn't say I've got a dry spell because I hadn't put enough effort into trying to get work. Do you know what I mean? So I think if you are consistently doing everything you can, I still think it's been a dry spell. But I wasn't one of those people who was putting all the effort in. So part of my dry spell was on me as well as the situation. And maybe I'm being too harsh, but I suppose that's kind of how I saw it.
No, I don't think so. I think as well, like you touched on something before, which I think is true, and it's like when you go on social media, and we have kind of covered this, but when you go on social media and you do see people, like, if you do see like a barrage of people, I've signed to this person, I've done this and done that, that's one aspect of it. I think the other thing that I find a little bit frustrating is some of these online quote-unquote influencers. I mean... VO
influencers are just general influencers?
No, general, like, business influencers.
Oh,
like
I know the kind.
Gary V. Gary V's a bit of an exception. I like Gary V. He's quite intense, and I don't follow him religiously, but I do quite like his passion. But I'm talking about the other ones. Where they've got this, like... if it's true, fine, but it comes across as almost just utter bullshit, where it's like, here's my routine. I get up at 5 o'clock in the morning, I'll go to the gym, I'll come back at 7 o'clock in the morning, I'll have my breakfast, I'll respond to some... Who are you emailing at 7 o'clock in the morning?
The thing is, though, they've also got like a mindfulness diary, they're drinking out of a Stanley cup, they've got some kind of protein shake going on.
Yeah. Then meditate for hours and then...
before 7. All of that before 7.
Yeah, before 7, yeah. All these things, all these rituals, they're all great and good for the mind and everything, and they having routine. But I think some of these online people, they create these unrealistic expectations of you that unless you do these extreme things throughout a 12-hour period, then you're destined to fail. And it's like, you're an idiot, because not everybody can do that.
Yeah.
And everybody operates differently. Like, for some of them to be like, we all know the importance of sleep, and yet they cram all these things in, and then I'll be sending emails, I'll be working till 11 o'clock at night. So how are you getting your 8 hours sleep? Yeah, no,
because you're about 4:30.
Because you got up at 5 o'clock in the morning, you dick.
Yeah.
Do you know what I mean?
It's not.
Like,
but it is like, the more you see of those as well, it does kind of like via osmosis go into your brain, and you do end up feeling a bit like, oh, I'm less than. I'm not as good as these people.
And I just think it's because, listen, I won't say I've fallen into the trap of it, but I am well into bettering yourself mentally, and sort of however that may look. I still try and do the meditation stuff. I struggle with it a little bit because my brain just races.
The apps.
I did go with the apps.
And those are sleep ones, weren't they?
Yeah. I did go with the apps, and when you've listened to so many of them, eventually I felt it was easier just to zone out and just sit in quietness. There are all these sorts of things that can help you just stay focused, stay in tune. I love all that sort of stuff, but I think I got a little...
I am rubbish, so I feel like a failure doing anything like that because I find it very difficult to quiet my brain. Yeah. So running for me is my meditation. That is the only time it feels like I am not being like, okay, there's 17,000 things that you should be doing right now. And I think we've talked about this quite a bit before, but I describe myself as a creative person, which is fantastic for a lot of this business in terms of when you're creating characters or changing something on the fly or thinking about marketing the business. Yeah. But it means that I'm coming up with stuff. I can never be still. Yeah. My brain is always going, and it's like, just chill the fuck out. Stop thinking about what you should be doing and just enjoy this moment. Yeah. And I find it very difficult to do that. So running for me is an absolute saviour.
Yeah, well, I just think burning yourself out,
yeah,
particularly when it's quiet and you might be stressing out and overworking. Look, at the end of the day, you have to put in hard work to get success in anything. That's a given. But I think burning yourself out and going down the rabbit hole of some of these people who say you've got to live these extreme ways to define yourself as call yourself successful, I think it's ridiculous. But
I think what's hard is motivating yourself when it's quiet. So I think I find it a lot easier to be more productive the busier I am. So if it's tumbleweed, then I'm like, I'm just going to watch a bit of like Modern Family or like just going to chill out a bit. So it's a very fine balance between actually being kind to yourself and being like, you know what, it's all right to watch Modern Family for
and that's it.
Hours.
You said it right. Be kind to yourself because, I think, like I say, I went down some rabbit holes and was like, right, okay, so, in order to improve any given situation, if it's gone quiet, I need to do this, I need to have these really strict routines and discipline, essentially. And after a while, I was exhausted. I was like, this is counterproductive because I'm knackered. Yeah. And I tell you another thing as well, not many people know this, actually. During Christmas, so at Christmas time, I made the decision to get a part-time job, right? Because for a couple of reasons, but the most important one's Jen's just typed, we need to wrap up ASAP. So, I told
it's 35 minutes.
Right. So basically, so what happened was at Christmas, it's Christmas, there's no work, it's all very quiet, but it was less about the money, it was more about the mental aspects of it, because it was the first Christmas since my mum passed away. And obviously at the time I was on my own, I was like, well, I don't want to be just sat around moping. I can go and see family and stuff and have a few drinks, but ultimately I'll just be moping about. So I thought, you know what, keep my brain busy. I went and got a job at the depot near where I live, like the warehouse, just chucking stuff around. And Jenna loved it because I was working from like early evening till 1 o'clock in the morning with a bunch of guys. There was good banter, we had a laugh, and if we weren't talking, I had my AirPod in, I'm just listening to football podcasts or whatever, and I loved it, right? But here's the thing. After I finished doing my little stint over the Christmas period, one thing that I realised was, and it goes back to that exhaustion thing, like the hours that I was doing, to then have to try and come back and do voiceover, which I then started doing because it was picking up again, to then do those hours, I was getting home at 1 o'clock in the morning, I don't fall asleep straight away, before I doze off it's 2:33 maybe, then I'm up again at 7:30, 8 o'clock roughly, I'm an early riser, whether I'm knackered or not, and then sometimes I'd lie there and I'd fall back asleep for a few hours. I was exhausted, and I started to see a massive knock-on effect to my ability to focus on voiceover because I was so tired all the time. Yeah. You know what I mean? So in a similar sort of way, what these people say about these crazy routines, and if you're exhausting yourself, I don't know how you can fully apply yourself if you burn out. But
I think a lot of people listening will have a second job, and some of them might be really like manual stuff like that as well, and like massive props. It's not easy juggling more than one job, and especially that kind of thing.
I have done it. I spent couple of months doing that, well, thereabouts, and as much as I enjoyed working with people, having a little bit of that banter and stuff, I was like, it was hard work to then come home and then try and focus on voiceover. And obviously then, like I say, once I called it a day, I was like, I don't need to be here now, and I could and my voiceover work was getting busier anyway, but my productivity towards voiceover was tremendously better because I wasn't tired.
Yeah, and it's just the mental capacity to focus on it as well, like not just because of like you're physically tired, but like the creativity or whatever it is to be like, actually I'm going to keep pushing myself, I'm going to keep trying this, I'm going to contact this person, I'm going to do that. That is exhausting. That business side of it is so tiring as well.
Yeah, and I think for people that debate whether they want to go full-time with voiceover and they're trying to juggle two jobs, it's not easy. Like it's absolutely not easy to try and do a full-time job and then try and try and set up a voiceover. If people are doing that, I've nothing but respect for you, because obviously different jobs require different levels of exertion, whether it's physical, mental, whatever. Yeah. I did something very physical for however it was, 7 weeks, and it took everything out of me. So I guess really my point being is that I don't have a point specifically. If you have to do two jobs, got to do what you got to do.
Yeah, you got to do what you got to do.
But it was about the tiredness and like, when it is quiet and you are trying to sort of figure out ways to improve things, but for me, I was like, don't fall into the trap of thinking unless you're doing these crazy routines, it's not enough. You do what you can do that fits you, your lifestyle, your, what you're capable of, in a way that still you're being more productive with work, but not to a point where you're being counterproductive because you're burning yourself out.
Yeah. And what a lovely way to wrap up with a lovely encouraging statement. I think we're done. I wrote
down here, embrace your weaknesses, double down on your strengths. I don't know why I wrote that down, but I'll probably say
a message for yourself and for everyone else. It's good. It's valid.
Yeah, it's not related to what I was not directly. I was going to say something else that probably led to me saying that, but there you go. Anyway, embrace your weaknesses, double down on your strengths. There you go. Whatever that was meant to refer to.
And we will be back next week.
Right, so I guess that's it. Normally now we'll have the little music playing, like.
Sure. Oh no, yeah, I can hear it now. I know the music. I couldn't tell that from your interpretation, but I got you.
Hey, we're playing over this waffle. Anyway, right, so that is season 2,
it's
episode 1.
So nice to see you again.
Let's
do it next week.
Yeah, well, if you haven't got a choice, you've got 8 weeks of it now. So we've got some, just to wrap up as well, just so you know, we're not going to have as many people on this time. I think we're going to probably go more episodes, me and Jen, and have a couple of guests come on here and there.
Yeah.
Just something ideas we're playing about with. But we're very much more of the same, and we hope, more than anything else, to improve on it.
Definitely. When we release this episode, I think there'll still be just a little bit of time to enter Vox. So again, another call to fucking go for it. Believe in yourself and go for it. You've got nothing to lose.
And on that note, I shall bid you goodbye.
Goodbye. See you next week.
Bye. Very good.